So, in answer to the question, what do we do for this week's work? Starting at the home page, I suggest that you click on the course schedule and syllabus to see which week it is. Last week was February 8th and 10th. So that would be week 2. Click on week 2 and you'll see the same overview as you were just looking at on the course schedule and syllabus. Day 3 is Monday and day 4 is Wednesday. So for Monday's work, you would be reading these 2 assignments, you would be looking at these resources, and then you would be writing an introduction to discourse communities. For the Wednesday work, day 4, you would be reading Open Letter to the Kansas School Board and the Encyclopedia Britannica entry. You would be looking at and the slideshow, and then you would be writing about genre and discourse communities. So this first item is always just the overview. It's the same thing as you see in the course schedule and syllabus. Once you've looked at the overview, you can also look at the items. If you don't want to look at the overview, you really don't have to. Just scroll down and start working. First, you will click on the PowerPoint. You will observe the PowerPoint. Take notes on it, I strongly suggest. Look at John Swale's essay, Reflections on the Concept of a Discourse Community. You can click on it or you can download the PDF. And this here is the electronic reference that you might use if you're referring to this in your Works Cited page. After that, you'll look at the Butte College web link. You will look at the DEJ form that you will use for your various readings during the semester. It says here, a copy is also provided in the left-hand menu. That if you go to this green left-hand menu, and there's the DEJ form, it's the same form as I've linked here in week 2 for your convenience. So you'll read that. You will read the Butte College double entry reading journals. You will use the DEJ form for your reading notes. You will read how to read like a writer. And then you will click on the discussion, which discourse communities are you part of? Create a thread. Name it with the topic that you are discussing, in this case, the discourse community that you're a part of. And then you will respond to this question. Describe at least 3 different possible discourse communities that you're aware of that you may be part of. You may be part of more than 3, and you can write about as many as you wish. Once you've proofread and posted, you will have access to your colleagues' posts. Your first post is worth 8 points. Responding to at least 2 of your colleagues will get you 2 more points, depending on how substantial your responses are and how well proofread they are. I'm not going to create the thread because that will mess up the discussion board. But I'm going to go back into the week 2 and scroll down. So after you're finished that and you've responded to 2 of your colleagues, you go to the last item, the open letter to the Kansas School Board. You read that. You look at the Flying Spaghetti Monsters PDF from the Encyclopedia Britannica. You read the types of genres in writing, and then you respond to discourse communities and genre discussion number 2. And again, you'll click on that. This time you can see your colleagues' posts. And so you'll create a thread, you will respond, you will answer 2 of your colleagues, and that will be the work for the week. For week 3, the week that's coming up, now CUNY is closed on Monday, the 15th, but that doesn't mean you can't start working on the 15th. And it'll be the same as week 2. So you look at the overview of the Monday work and the Wednesday work. And because this class is asynchronous, you can respond to Wollstonecraft at any point before Wednesday. You can do the day 6 work at any time before the 17th. But you're on week 3, so you go to the week 3 link. You'll see the same overview that we just looked at in the course schedule and syllabus. And then you scroll down and start working. Mary Wollstonecraft, there's a portrait of her. You will read her dedicatory letter, which is the introduction to her Vindication of the Rights of Women. This is not the reading. This is just an introduction and some historical background on who it is you're reading about. The reading is linked here. It's a PDF that you're being asked to read. It's 1, 2, 3. It's about 3 pages long, and it's a letter dedicated to Jonathan Bennett, who Mary Wollstonecraft was trying to convince that the rights of women were as important as the rights of men. So please read the introduction, then read what Wollstonecraft had to say. She wrote this in 1792. It's now 2021. So more than 200 years later, her writing is still relevant. And then I'm asking you to do the discussion board. The directions are here. You're being asked to create a DEJ for the dedicatory letter and paste it in the discussion. And after you do that, post 6 to 8 sentences describing your thoughts or impressions about what you read. So this is a very specific discussion. Then watch the slide presentation. And that, if I scroll back up, is the Wednesday work, the effective persuasion presentation, and the final writing exercise. So you'll watch the presentation on Wednesday, and then you'll do the second discussion board. And again, you have very specific questions to answer. If you are answering any of these discussions in less than 2 paragraphs, you're not writing enough and you will not get full credit. So I hope that explains a little bit more how you go about each week. It's the same protocol every single week. You log in to the home page. You see the course schedule and syllabus to figure out which week you're in and which days you're working. So this coming week is the 15th and the 17th. You do the work. These are the deliverables for the week in the 3rd column. And then, let's see, it's week 3, and you just go over to the left-hand column, click on the week. You'll see the same overview again, and then just scroll down and do the work in order. Do not skip around. Do it in order. If you have extra time, you can do more work, but whatever you do, do not do the last thing first because you will do it wrong. Please send me any emails with questions. This was a very quick video. I hope it answers your question.